All right, lighting good? Camera's good? Key grip, good? All right. Good.
Welcome to this edition of the Great American Whiskey Cookers. We are here in Swisher, Iowa at Cedar Ridge Distillery, and I'm sitting with Murphy Quint and Megan Patz, and we're tasting through some of the expressions that they have. And right now we're going to do, what are we doing here? We're doing double barrel.
You got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about this and what exactly it is.
This one's been a really fun ride that we've been on with our double barrel bourbon. Kind of how this started out, believe it or not, was a buddy and I, one of my good friends, Evan. We were kind of in his basement. We were going through other double barrel expressions from other distilleries. You know, there were kind of a handful of them out there a couple years ago, and we got into a phase with them. And he kept pushing me, "Hey, you guys got to do a double barrel bourbon." And I was really hesitant to do that because, as we've started to see as we've toured the place, we have a very gentle, delicate distillate. I was really nervous that 2 new char treatments were going to overpower it and really throw it off balance. So the first time that we did this, we only put a couple barrels of it away because I was kind of assuming that it wasn't going to work out. Sure. Almost that, you know, how you have something that's over oaked or over charred, it almost seems like you're trying to hide some defects, some flaws. And I was really nervous that that's what was going to happen. However, eventually went back to taste it when it was pretty much at the end of the aging process and absolutely loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. And so we've kind of scaled it up from there. So that's really how the double barrel began, was just I wanted to try doing something that was in that double barrel trend, and I was very, very surprised by what it came out with. It's got a nice like charcoal, like barbecue style flavor profile from that double char treatment.
Okay.
And it's pretty interesting.
Now, is this a regular release for you now? I mean, is it a constant release?
So this is an annual release. So this is one that we'll release most of the times in the fall around November.
All right.
And we do a certain batch. I think it's 10 barrels is what we do.
Yep.
10 barrels at the most each year. And then once it's gone, it's gone.
So if you don't get it at the time when it comes out, if you happen to stumble across it in, say, January, February, and you want it, you better pick it up because you're not releasing it again until the following November.
Exactly. And it is one of our most popular annual releases.
I was just going to say, out of all the seasonals that we do, this is probably the one that's most sought after, especially in our state, and it's rolling out throughout the Midwest.
Okay, let's try it. I'm excited.
Got this one.
I like this. And what's the proof on this?
This is 105. Convert.
105, which is like right in my wheelhouse.
Yep.
I love the 100 to 110. I'm like,
yep, I kind of have that same range.
oh, that's sweet on the nose.
Yeah. And so one thing that's cool is that, you know, we mainly only have one bourbon mash bill. I say mainly because we do some like real small stuff on the side just for experimentation. But
Right.
74% corn, 14 rye, 12% malted barley is our main mash bill. And we do a number of different seasonal releases that are cask finished differently, but it's all really from that same mash bill. And it's fun to taste through them and see how much they vary in flavor profile.
Mm. This has a richness in the mouth. Mm-hmm. As soon as you put it in, it's almost like this buttery.
It is that like buttery barbecue
Yes.
flavor with that smokiness, that charcoal, but it's not too much. Like it's not over oaky. It's just right for what Cedar Ridge is for our bourbon.
I think it's neat because you do get an element of smoke in there, and that's coming from that double fresh char, obviously, bulk char number 3. But it's not like what you'd normally pick up in a smoky whiskey. Normally, when you think smoky, you go to peat. You know, you think of a peated Scotch or something like that, and that's not at all what it is. It's a very pleasant and light smoke. Similar to what you'd smell when you're standing next to a grill or something like that.
This past weekend, I smoked some pork belly burnt ends. This would go great with those. I mean, this would pair so phenomenal with those pork belly burnt
Absolutely.
ends. Oh my God.
The whole process while you're cooking it, while you're eating it, have it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the finish on this is, it's got this really soft finish for me, which I didn't quite expect out of this one.
Yep. And that's time and time again, that's kind of what we come up with our style of bourbon is every time I expect it to be overpowering or overly aggressive or something like that, it stays pleasant, it stays approachable. And that's just kind of, I think that's due to the distillate we're working with and that kind of mouthfeel that we keep going back to.
Yeah, and it's still sitting there in my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of lingers for me.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yep.
It's just right in the back of your tongue.
Yeah, that's delicious. So they can find you at cedarridgedistillery.com.
Yep.
Right? On the socials, how do they find you?
At Cedar Ridge, Iowa, on Facebook and Instagram. And really for whiskey, Instagram is the place to follow us.
Okay. And Murphy, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Yeah, at Murphy Quint on Instagram.
All right. And I'm Jeff, your host for the Great American Whiskey Cookers. You can find us online as well. Until next time, if you can't be good at it. See ya. Now I remember why that bottle's almost gone.
Yeah, that's a fun one.